Hey guys, welcome back to New England Next Gen. So tonight I want to start with 3 thoughts. One from scripture, one from how we're called to treat each other, and one from American history. Jesus said, "If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand." And he also said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." And I have a historical quote, ready? Benjamin Franklin said, "We must all hang together, or assuredly we will all hang separately." Different moments, different people, different circumstances. Sound like you? So there's a thread connecting all 3. Division has consequences, and how we treat each other matters. So if you haven't been following me, this is New England Next Gen. Tonight I want to ask a question, not because I have all the answers, I don't, I promise you, but because movements survive or fail based on whether people are willing to ask the difficult questions. So lately I've watched people on our own side become increasingly divided, not just over policy, not just over strategy, but over loyalty. People are arguing over Trump, his choices, his appointments, and what they believe he's doing or not doing for our country. Some people are saying, trust the process. Others are saying, wait a second, I supported this movement, but I have concerns. And suddenly people who stood shoulder to shoulder months ago are acting like enemies. And I start asking myself, what would Charlie say today? Would Charlie say disagreement is betrayal? Or would he say movements need people willing to ask the difficult questions? Would he say stop thinking for yourself? Or would he tell people to stay engaged, stay informed, and think critically? Because if our movement becomes a place where every disagreement equals exile, then what exactly are we building, right? Strength doesn't come from everyone thinking identically, and strength comes from shared principles strong enough to survive disagreement. I'll say that again just to make sure that you guys got that. Strength comes from shared principles strong enough to share and survive disagreement. Because reality is this: no politician, not Trump, not anyone, is going to perfectly align with every person. That's impossible. But somewhere along the way, it feels like we've started treating disagreement as proof someone switched sides. And maybe that's where I keep coming back to love your neighbor as yourself. Because loving your neighbor isn't easy when people agree with you. That's the easy part. The hard part is showing respect when someone sees things differently. The hard part is remembering that someone can question strategy, appointments, decisions, and direction without automatically becoming the enemy. And I feel like so many people have a hard time on our side with this. The hard part, right? You got to remember that someone can question strategy, appointments, decisions, and direction without automatically becoming your enemy. And if our side cannot disagree without destroying one another, then eventually we just stop becoming a movement and become factions, right? So I want everyone to picture this. You're on a football team, right? I know, you were on football in high school, right? Or maybe you're on football now. Players disagree on the plays. They disagree on the strategy. They disagree with the coaches. Now imagine halfway through the game, teammates stop focusing on the opposing team and start tackling each other. So who wins the game, right? Not the team, but the opponent. So ask yourself, are we debating ideas or are we tackling teammates? So tonight I have a challenge. Before you write someone off, before you attack somebody online, before you assume somebody betrayed you in the movement, ask one question: am I listening to understand, or am I only listening to respond? Because movements survive when people can challenge each other and still stand beside each other. So here's my challenge for the New England Next Gen community. Are you ready, guys? And the ones who, you guys go out to ice with me, you all know New England Next Gen's all about this. So you ready? I'm challenging you. Even Catherine. I want you in the comments to answer this question. How do we disagree without destroying each other? Not slogans, not insults, real answers, like your honest answer. Because maybe someone out there has been feeling frustrated. Maybe someone feels unheard. Maybe someone feels like they're getting pushed out of the movement. And maybe this community can prove something different. That people can think critically, ask hard questions, stand on principles, and still treat each other like human beings and like teammates, guys. I'll leave you with this. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Love your neighbor as yourself. And remember, strength isn't built by demanding total agreement. Strength is built by people who stay at the table even when the conversations get difficult. I know it's hard. Like, even the leftists think that. They're like, I can't have a conversation with my family member who is a Republican because I just can't stand hearing what she has to say about him because she just like outright loves Trump, and I get it. But you have to be able to listen. Maybe it's not the right time for you to listen, but the fact that you should be able to listen to someone next to you and treat them with the same human decency and respect that you deserve. We treat each other like ourselves. We all learned that in Disney. Like, if you have nothing nice, don't say it at all. All those like slogans we learned and grew up with through Disney. We can live by those. We should be treating people the way we want to be treated. So we should be able to listen to people even if we don't agree with them. And we don't have to agree with them. That's the whole point. So this is, New England Next Gen. Keep thinking, keep asking questions, keep showing up, and remember, disagreement does not have to become division. We are all going to agree on everything. And a lot of times I stay quiet because I don't have all the answers myself. But I'm not going to go there and start arguing with someone in the comments about whether I think what Trump's doing or isn't doing, and just a bajillion questions, because I can only tackle one thing at a time. If I think someone taught me back, that way back when I started doing this movement, that you have to remember the goalpost. Like, just think of the word goalpost and keep that in your mind. The goalpost is for the whole entire movement, and for our side is to make our country great. Well, we're all going to have different strategies, just like everybody makes. Think about this. Everybody makes spaghetti and chili. And you know what? Do you think that every single household in America makes chili the same way? No. So it's going to always be different, and we need to accept people's ideas. Maybe you haven't tried their recipe. Maybe you don't like their recipe. But it doesn't mean that you have to hate the person because their chili is different. So that's it, guys. I love you guys. Have a good night.